Hello everyone, good morning. Today is hump day, over the hump, and so that should make you happy because the weekend's right around the corner. So what I thought I would do is just jump on and kind of catch up, do a chit chat. That's what this is going to be about. I'm a little behind on my normal regular postings for videos. And I thought I would just kind of catch up, chit chat with you and let you know what's going on. So grab your favorite drink, whether it's hot or cold, take a sip, and I hope you'll stay with me on this one. And to all of my returning subscribers, a big hello. Thank you so much for all of your feedback, your support. I can't even begin to explain how much I look forward to your comments and just what it means to me. And if you're new, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and just stick around and join this fun little community. So let's get started. Big sip. I know I'm going to talk a lot, so maybe a little. Just a little something to keep my lips dry. So guys, first things first, I kind of want to just sort of talk to you about, sorry, I'm just putting on some, from my stash, lip gloss. This happens to be Dior Lip Glow Pomade. It's really a nice gloss, and getting into my stash still. I'm doing really good with that. I'm just so proud that I'm actually doing it, and I'm just sticking to my commitment. So let's get started about what's been going on and what I'm doing. So I do want to talk to you about my Weight Watcher weigh-in, which was yesterday, because I just kind of wanted to do this combined video. I still was in with my goal weight. My instructor had said to me, hey, be careful now. Don't go too close to that range, because when you weigh in, you want to make sure you're within that 2 pounds. And so I'm just kind of like at that goal range where I was 2 weeks ago. And my weight did say it went up a pound, but because I'm on maintenance, I'm weighing every day. And every day from my last weigh-in, I was down a pound and 4 ounces or whatever every day. And then Tuesday morning, I happened to jump on the scale before, and I was up that 1.4. So I was exactly where I was at, the 2 weeks prior. But I noticed my fingers, and they still today feel that way, little bit retaining fluid. It's been really humid here, and I've noticed with myself that when it gets really humid too, my joints tend to swell. I must be retaining a little water, so I'm really trying to watch my sodium intake. Recently, a couple of weeks ago, I had mentioned a sparkling water that I started drinking pretty frequently, which is the Pellegrino, I think is how you say it. I love it. I put some sugar-free flavoring in it and have a couple of big jugs of that to get my water in. But, there is some sodium in it, even though it's low. But I was trying to look back on my tracking list on my app to see what I ate on Monday. And I did make chili, and of course, chili, beans, tomatoes, that has some sodium, and then the mixes, that you put in. So I'm probably just having that little bit of water retention. So I'm trying to be really careful. And I haven't even added points back to my program because I still want to get around 3 to 5 pounds lower than my goal, than my goal weight, so that I can have that nice little cushion for days like this when joints feel swollen and, just are retaining a little bit of water. So that's good, all good with, that part of it, with the meeting. And I just, have to go every week. I have to keep my mind focused on not the fact that the Weight Watcher program to me is not a diet. It is truly my lifestyle now. It's being cognizant and aware of every bit of food that I put into my mouth, and even those little things, because when I look back at my tracking, and that's why tracking is so important. You know, some people say, oh, I don't want to count calories or count this or that. But it's really important because I did look at what was I having last week that was well within the range of my daily points, but may have been higher in sodium. And for a couple of lunches, I noticed I had Triscuits with my salad, and one time I had those unique pretzels, sourdough pretzels. And so maybe I just need to balance that out a little bit because of the sodium. So I'm paying attention to that this week, and that's kind of, you know, where I'm at. The other little thing I've added that I did do last week is I tried to eat my meals within an 8-hour period, and I think I was successful every day except one where I had to have my heavier meal after 6 o'clock at night, which I believe was Sunday. And so I've been trying to do that intermittent fasting and just see how my body adjusts. The big news is I did join a class, and it is called a Pure Barre class. I just looked up the information online, kind of checked out and read what is it about. I was really looking for something toning and strengthening. I need to strengthen my back and shoulder area because I have really slouchy posture. And I need toning now because a lot of skin is loose and flabby. And so whatever I can tone up, that's what I want to do. And so I'm going to give you a little information on it. I'm not sure I'm going to stay with this. I went ahead and bought a package for 8 classes, which will be 2 a week. So that'll be a 30-day period. And then I can get a really good grip on, is this something I want to continue to do? Or would it be more beneficial for me to join a community center where I can participate in a barre class and maybe yoga and swim? I'll see where I'm at. Either way, I have to weigh the cost because these classes are not cheap. And that's why I made that smaller commitment to get a little bit of a reduced rate by buying a package. So I went to a 50-minute demonstration class, and there were a mix of women my age. They're small classes. I think 8 to 10 is what they have. They offer them, you know, throughout the week, different times. My best time is to go early morning because that's the time that I can get out and, you know, my mom is sleeping and hopefully not getting into trouble. But oh my gosh, that's a whole nother thing. And I did it, and the women that were my age, and some were like, I think one lady I talked to, she's about 15 years younger than me and starting out, and, you know, someone else starting new. And, you know, everybody has their own struggles as to flexibility and what they can do, but I made it through. And I thought, okay, I did break out into a sweat. It's not like a step class. It's not a cardio, but it does get you moving. And so I thought, okay. And so my next class is Tuesday and Thursday of this week, which I went yesterday, and I'll go again tomorrow. Well, when I went Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock, what can I say? Let's just say I started off with my ponytail on top of my head. I wanted my hair out of my face. And I ended up leaving, and I think it was hanging about right here and just totally like craze. And a couple of times I actually thought I was going to vomit because I just was sweating and stretching those muscles. And even one time when they were doing this one position, the instructor walks around, and so she'll, like kind of gently ease your position back, or, just kind of get your leg level or whatever it is. And, then there was this sitting position where you come down on your knees and then you rest your hiney on the heels of your feet. And like, I just couldn't come all the way back that way because the muscles to stretch just hurt. So I was sort of leaning forward, and she said, okay, try to keep your back as straight as you can. And I go, yeah, that's about as straight as it can go right now. Oh my gosh. And sweat is pouring off of me. So then, I'm not being comical here. This is just the honest to God's truth. Then we had to lay on the mat on our back and just flip your legs up, toes pointed to the ceiling. And, I'm looking around because, there's mirrors so you can see, and everybody's legs are up, and I'm like hoisting my legs up with my hands on the back of my legs to get them up there. And I'm like, well, I just don't even have the muscle strength to just lift up. And really? Holy moly. They were into the exercise, and I was just happy. Praise you, God. I got my toes pointing in the sky now. Now what do I do? It was just a workout. So I'm going to continue on. I'm plugging through because, by golly, I'm going to do it. I don't care what I look like. I don't care how crazy it looks like to some of those, younger gals who just go in there and smoothly, I'm going to get there and soar. I took 2 Advil before I even went to the class because I was still sore from Sunday. And while I was working my muscles, that soreness did dissipate. It just left, and I wasn't feeling the soreness. Now, if I just do this, I feel it. So working those muscles, I'm going to continue on. And I modified when I had to. And they remind you to breathe in and breathe out. And I did those things and just help because I sure as heck don't want to, get sick. Not like I was eating anything before I went, but I am going to, that will be those 2 days because I go so early. I will just have to have like a less of a fast because I've got to have some kind of protein in my system. And I think that's just a good thing to do before you go. So I did join that. I'll keep you posted on how it goes, and we'll see. So that's 2 things down that I wanted to talk to you about. And the next thing is I've had a really, really hard couple of weeks. By the end of last week, my mom took really, really sick, and she has chronic anemia, and her red blood cell count had gone drastically down. But along those lines too, my mom is a chronic complainer. She doesn't see it as complaining. When you're 90, you hurt. You just hurt. But getting up in the morning, how'd you sleep? It's like, oh, it's raining again today. Well, my legs feel horrible. And because there is that constant complaining, it's just so hard to look at the glass being half full in her life. It becomes just a habit. And so that habit is formed into your way of thinking. And it's hard for me to assess, what's a real physical ailment as opposed to what you're just constantly complaining about. And she started complaining that she was feeling tired, and then she blames the medication she's on. Then she doesn't want to take the medicine. Then I got to fight with her about you need to take it. You can't just stop things. And no, I know this one medicine, and the one medicine that helps relieve the muscle pressure for her and, works with her musculoskeletal system and her mind to kind of keep her relaxed, and is something she doesn't want to take because she feels, oh, it makes me tired. And, it's a struggle. She's lived with me for almost 4 years, and we have gone back and forth, changing medications, putting her on right things. She doesn't want to take anything for her mind because she doesn't feel that there's anything wrong. And I've tried to explain to her, it's not your fault. It's just what your body depletes. And when you need rest and you need a nap during the day, you need to take it because that's where you're at. And she gets angry with me because I'm talking to her about her age, and it's difficult. It's difficult. And, you know, the exchanges aren't always pleasant. And it's just a constant battle and a fight. And I get so stressed out. And I get so emotional. I have to run and escape to my happy place, my bedroom. I've had to learn to do something for myself. And I'm not ashamed of it. I don't talk about it because I don't want it to be an invasion on her privacy. And, you know, it's so true about what you hear. Don't judge someone else unless you've walked in their shoes. And I know there's options. I know I can easily put her in a nursing home, and it's the most difficult thing to do. I realize that that could be an option, and it is an option to do, but it's just hard to make that decision. So I'm trying to get some outside help in. I'm going to have to hire somebody now to come in a couple of days a week to sit with her so that I can have that time for myself and I can leave and feel comfortable knowing that there is somebody there. You know, and sometimes it gets to the point that the paranoia for her just overtakes and she interferes with, you know, she doesn't want to do it on purpose. She doesn't mean to do it on purpose, but it's just where her mind is, and it's raw. And then it affects my granddaughter when she's here and everybody else in the house. And I'm just going to say it's been difficult. And then add on top of it chronic anemia and low blood count, really low, half the volume. You can't function. And so last week it was stormy and rainy and the weather was horrible and I couldn't budge her to go out. I needed to get a blood test done for her. I had home health finally coming in. They got the order. They were able to come to the house, draw the blood, and within a few hours they called me and said, listen, doctor says she needs to go to the ER. You know, we can do the transfusion there, or, you know, we can just schedule it through the center, but we can't get her in until Friday, and this was Wednesday. And her blood was already so low, and she was so weak. So I left the option up to her. Nope, she wasn't going out. She wasn't going to the hospital. She wasn't going to sit in a waiting room where there's all those sick people, and then she'll just get sicker, which, of course, was my main concern. I didn't want her to get sicker, and flu being as bad as it is now, her resistance being so low, and immune system compromised, you know, I didn't want her going in there. And she would sit out there. That's the way it goes. I mean, it's not like they have a special room to put her in because she's just older. And so I explained to her, you're weak and it's very difficult on your heart. But nope, she wanted to wait. She would let me take her the next day to go get typed and crossed. And so I had to spend hours on the phone trying to figure out how am I going to get her to this place, because home health couldn't do that part of it because you have to be banded. That band has to stay on you until you get your blood. It all has to match. I understand that. But the place I had to take her was the hospital, which meant I had to park eons away or drop her off at the front and leave her unattended, which that's not always good, and go park and then take her up to the 4th floor. By that point, she'd be exhausted. So I did find a center close to my home that was just walk-in, just 1 floor walk-in, and I could drop her off right at the doors. There were seats, and I could say, sit there, do not move. And the parking space was right within my reach. So did that, got her in right away. They knew she was very weak and took her blood. I took her home, and she was a mess. She just felt so sick, and she went and lay down in her bed. She never does that. And she just didn't want to eat or drink. And so I called the ER because I didn't think she was going to make it through the night without a major mishap. And they were so swamped. Yeah, if you come in, you're going to probably sit here 6 or 7 hours. And it'll be long time before she even is getting the blood, given the blood, especially if she needs it. If she's already scheduled at 8 o'clock on Friday morning, she just goes, she'll just be sitting here. We are swamped. What else can they do? So I called the on-call doctor from her office and, got a little reprimanded. Why are you waiting so long? Blah, blah, blah. I said, listen, I have to respect her wishes. She doesn't want to go. Okay, I understand that. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying, this is what you're facing. And you have to explain to her how taxing it is on her heart. Yes, I've done that. And he said, you just have to make a decision. So I went back to her one more time. And thank heavens, thank you, Jesus, my husband was traveling from Illinois to Alabama to spend, a week home working from home. And he got in that night and she just said to him, I don't want to go. I just want to stay here. Let me stay here. He said, those are her wishes. Let her stay. We just have to understand that whatever the consequences may be, we just have to, So needless to say, I didn't sleep well that night because I was worried, my God, is she going to make it through the night? I didn't know if she was going to even have the strength to get up for me to take her, but we did get there. She did get 2 units. She started, perking up right away, and I think I mentioned it on my last video. Started driving me crazy already, and yes. But along those lines now, we did cut down on one of her meds. It's important for her way of thinking, and she was only getting it once a day, and so needless to say, by now she is rip-roaring raw. And it's been bad. It's been very bad. So I do have home health coming out this afternoon to draw some more blood to see if her levels are staying. We just have to, she goes back to the doctor's Friday, have to kind of figure out what are we going to do. Maybe a hematologist visit is next in line. But, I don't want her to have to go through major issues because what are they going to do? She had no symptoms of any kind of internal bleeding, which was good. So, they said at least if you bring her to the ER, they'll do a CAT scan and this and that or MRI or whatever and see if and then what? Then what? What can she survive through a major surgery? That wasn't what we were dealing with. I mean, I am a nurse. I know enough to know, is she having labored breathing? Is her stomach distended? Is it hard? Is she vomiting? Negative, 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 negative. And so it's just that chronic weakness. So we're going to deal with it. And home health is coming, like I said, to draw some more blood today. And then we'll see if her levels are staying. Because this last transfusion that she had in May, the end of May, beginning of June, lasted a little over 6 months. So maybe periodically, like the doctor said, she just may need to have some blood, at this stage. But mostly, when she goes to the doctors, we're going to talk about the right, proper medication to give so that it can just help ease this situation at home. And then we'll go from there. So also, I just want to talk to you about a couple of fun things. Like I said, I am behind on my videos, and I don't mean to be, but someone requested that I do can I show my planner that I use, and I am going to do a video on that. I use the Erin Condren planners. You don't have to use that. There's all different kinds and all different types. And last year I switched over to the mini, it's like, I call it the soft planner because it's not the hardback. It's a little bit different. It's booklets. I love it. It's much more portable. And I'll also show the hardback planners, yearly planners that I've used in the past from her. I've been probably documenting in daily journaling planning for probably about 6 years, maybe more. But I'm going to do a video on that, and I hope to have that up sometime next week. And I'm going to share just a couple of photos and something that's a win situation. So back to Weight Watchers. Next week I'm actually going to post, and I've already done the video on this, but I haven't really edited it. My yogurt cheese that I make and how I make it, some seasoned crackers that I make out of the Joseph Lavage oat wraps. Really good, simple and easy. And then the dessert with the yogurt and the fruit that I make pretty much almost every week. And it's filled with protein and the pineapple and mandarin oranges, and I can have that. And it's just a good source of a fun dessert. And so I want to talk about just a couple of wins. So here's a win, or at least one win. This particular top, and I'm going to insert the picture here so you can get the full length, is a black and white plaid shirt that I bought about 6 years ago. 6 years ago. I loved it. I thought it was just, when plaids were really coming back. And, they're just always in style. If you're a plaid lover, you're a plaid lover. But I loved it because it has this little design, these little pink hearts just placed throughout the whole entire shirt. It was just this buffalo black and white check. And it's really something that I purchased way before buffalo check, got really popular the last couple of years. But guys, I could not button this. I wore this as an overshirt because I liked it so much, and they didn't have it in the size that I needed, the extra large. And so I just thought, well, I'll just wear it open with a, cami underneath, a black or a white, which is what I did and loved it. Well, I am continuing to go through my closet now that we're starting to ease out of winter into spring. And I know for next year, some of the tops, sweaters, they're just not going to work because, my size has gone down. So now I did wear them throughout this fall and winter, and now it's time to donate. So I'm kind of going through things, and I love this so much. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try this on because definitely I know it's going to fit, but I'm thinking it looks so cute. I don't have anything under it, but as you can see, I just have a pair of black, I guess these are my yoga pants, and comfortable and cute, and I love it. I just think I'll push down a little bit just so you can see. It's got a little pocket here, and oh, that's just the mic. Sorry, I'm probably making all kinds of racket. But a win situation, and kind of nice because it is a reminder to me that I'm wearing something that I did wear in my larger size, and I liked it enough to dress it up with something underneath and make do. But the fact that I can button it and just wear it, and it's flowy, I love it. And the next thing is a new blouse that I did show in a video that I purchased that I got on sale. I wanted a couple of blouses for church, and this is the sheer material, so I do have a cami underneath it, and I'll put a picture here. Maybe it'll go here, I'm not sure yet, but I just love the style of it. It looks so Chanel-esque and just dressy. And I did see it on a YouTuber, and she showed it on, and I just was like, I am in love. And when she mentioned she had gotten it at the loft and it was, on sale, and then I even got it, I think, cheaper than what she purchased it for. And I'll link the information below if you like it, and you want to check into it. And so I think that's also a great way. You can shop online, you can look through and scroll through things and see them. And it's no different than seeing it on Instagram or YouTube or an influencer. And, a lot of times if you see something and there's no information, you just send a little message and you ask. And, most YouTubers, or at least the ones that I do watch, they're really, one or two don't respond, but most of them are all really good about getting back and just giving you the information. So I love that. And what's a win for me is I love the way that type of material, that flowy, light nylon material, just it's like the wind blowing. I could never wear it before because in the size that I would need to fit me through the shoulder area so it didn't look slouchy or like, I wanted it to be flowy. Could never find anything that fit right because it was always so snug around the gut area. And it just would pull everywhere else. If I tried to go on a smaller size to fit through here, then it was tight around the middle. And so I love that it's that flowy. Now, I probably could have gotten a small, but I opted for the medium because I wanted to make sure that, and like I said, I think it's perfect because it's that flowy consistency and it is sheer. So I do have a cami underneath it and it's perfect. So it's a win for me that I can look at those types of clothing material and, have it work for me now. It's part of the success of working towards a goal. So that's all I really wanted to jump on and say and let you know. I'm in a struggle right now, hard week, trying to get it's my job to be a caregiver, and I have to keep that in focus and get things taken care of with that. So I just wanted to keep you updated, and I hope everything is well for you. And until my next video, be kind, especially to yourself. Be humble and age gracefully. Bye. Guys, before I forget, which, I already forgot, but I just wanted to show you that this is what I was spraying earlier. And I don't think I've ever talked about this, but this is called Italian linen. And I picked these up like at Marshall's. Maybe Home Goods might have it, TJ Maxx, I don't know. But when I see it, I get like usually 5 bottles of it. It's a beautiful scent. It's like an air freshener, and I spray it back here because I'm back here in the master bedroom closet and it can get a little stuffy, but it's called Italian linen. And I think the last time I bought it was a couple of years ago when I had gone to like Marshall's maybe in Illinois, and I think I bought like 10 bottles because it's really, really cheap. They'll have it marked at $10.99, and then I got them all at 75% off. That's when I picked them up, and I've given them as gifts. But the scent is so nice, and I think it's important that when you're going to spend some me time for yourself, that you either put on a diffuser or spray some scent that's calming and soothing, because it does help you mentally. So I just wanted to share that with you and add that to the video. I know, I'm crazy, probably wiggling this all over, so I hope it's not too bad, but I wanted to share. Bye.